Hey, Mark Nelson from MarkNelsonOnline.com. Today, I want to talk to you about probably one of the biggest challenges everybody goes through. How do you get over fear? That, I think, is the biggest challenge of anybody. You know, when you're first born, you really only have two fears. I just heard this the other day. The first fear is loud noises. And the second fear is to be loved. Now, I just made that one up. The first fear is loud noises. The second fear is of falling or heights or something. And that's all that new babies have. So the rest of these fears that we have built up in our system have been brought onto us through life. And that's a challenge, right? So it could have came from anywhere. It really could have, as just stemming up. You might have had a very traumatic youth. You might have had a sibling that said something. You might have had somebody in education, and hopefully that didn't happen. It could have been a friend. It could have been a bully, whatever. But somebody has put some fears in you. I have a fear of heights, and I have no idea where that came from. I'm somewhat of an introvert, but I'm an online marketer. Now catch that one, right? So I had to talk to people, but I'm really shy, and I don't know where shyness came from. I do know where kind of being an introvert or kind of, I don't want to be an introvert, but rejection, feeling an objection or getting embarrassed of my thoughts or whatnot really stemmed from a sibling who used to always tell me I wasn't good enough, always tell me that I just didn't have what it takes, always would laugh at what I would say, always, I just pick on. And I buried that. I didn't even know I had it until I went through some coaching. And it wasn't for that, it was coaching for online marketing, because I had a challenge of calling people. So I had no clue that was sitting there until I really had to address that. But to tell you the truth, how I addressed it the most was I changed my stinking thinking. And how do you change your stinking thinking? See, what I started to do was calling back prospects. I mean, and I have capture pages where they put their number in, so they're really asking me for help. And I'd have a challenge calling them back because I part of it was I didn't know where to lead them at first. The second part was that rejection or feeling dumb or just not having the self-confidence to call them. So here's what I did, and it was through the help of this individual, was we talked about, instead of calling them to try to sell to them or have them join my team, I was going to call and ask how I could help or ask how I could serve. Now I have a higher belief, so I'd really reach out to that and say, okay, how can I serve these people? What are my best ways to help you? These people are really reaching out to me for help. How can I do that? And that started to turn the channel for me, because instead of trying to sell them or get them to join, I really went in with the attitude like, okay, I have no clue what they want, but I'm going to see what their pains are, what their objections are, what their goals are, and see if I could point them in the right direction. That's when it started becoming real for me, because it just wasn't this thing of I was just trying to get them. I was trying to offer help. Now, another thing that I do, because there are times when you get to do things that you are really nervous about. I do say a little prayer. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's been in my repertoire forever. And if that's not part of your realm, that's okay. But you can say something too. But I also read a book by Tony Robbins. I believe it came from his book, Awaken the Giant Within, was talking about what do you do when you're doing something that really throws you. And he was talking about posture, and I do this. One is when I'm on the phone, I stand up. When I have to make a call, I get in my power stance. Some people say it's a Superman stance. Some people say whatever. What I did, I just clenched my fist. And I didn't grip my teeth, but I almost did right there. I just clenched my fist. It made me this powerful person. It changed the psyche of me, the physiology of me. So when I called them, the power was in me, right? And that's what Tony Powers was talking about, was awaken the giant within. So two things, right? If you have fear, believe me, it's been put in there through life. Somewhere you've gotten fear from somewhere. So one, you acknowledge that fear. See, again, I'm an introvert and I'm an online marketer, right? I'm in network marketing. It's like, oh man, I got to talk to people. But where is that fear coming from? And just address it. Then you say, hey, fear, you aren't helping me at all. Get out of here. And then when you're really doing something, change your posture. Right? And I do that again by I get in a power stance. I stand when I call. Some people, it's really interesting when I'm a teacher. So I had to change schools the other day, this year, but I had to go in and do some interviews. And I really had to remind myself, when I sat in that chair, I sat up tall and my eyesight was on the people who were asking me questions, because I wanted my posture to be one of leadership. And hopefully that makes sense. So how do you get over fear? One is acknowledge the fear and try to find out where it's coming from, because it has been brought into our life. We weren't born with that fear. Find out where that's coming from and just push it out of there. Say, hey, fear, me being an introvert's no longer there. Me being afraid of rejection is no longer there. And then when you are reaching out to people, instead of going for the sale, go for, how can I best serve this individual? Become a listener. Ask questions that will help you find their pains. They'll tell you where their struggles are. And then point them in the direction. Take the eye off trying to sell them something. Take the eye off trying to get them to join your company. See, by doing that, guess what's going to happen? They will start to know, like, and trust you. They will start to buy from you, and they will join you in business just by you going out of your way to help them out. Hey, I don't know if you ever found out that some days you just don't have a clue what you should be doing every day. Well, I got a free resource, very seriously. It's called 6 Daily Steps. It's at marknelsononline.com/6 daily steps. It's the 6 daily activities that you should be doing every day in your business. And what I actually did was put a checklist that you could print out and follow that checklist every day. Now, that might sound weird to some people, but I do. I keep score of myself every day, what I need to be doing, because there's a few activities, if you're growing a business, that you need to be doing every day. I'll put the link in the description below, but it is also at marknelsononline.com/6 daily steps. Hey, y'all, take care. You are a rock star. Talk again tomorrow. Bye.